Hello and welcome to Gas Buteo Tabletop Football, where we have had a question. Question is from Paul, good friend of the show. He's all the way down in Australia, so good day to you, mate. And we're here enjoying some Australian type weather. I don't know what it's like over there, but currently here in South Gloucestershire and North Bristol, it is very warm indeed. Now you may remember me moaning in winter about it being 0 degrees in here at one point, and I was still flicking around. Nothing like that today. I've come in here because it's cooled down now, and on the thermometer I've got by the door, you have to excuse me, I'm sweating buckets, it says it's 30 degrees centigrade. So I came in earlier and I think it was about 34, it was just too much. But nonetheless, some people enjoy that weather. I'm more of a spring and autumn sort of guy myself. But we're in here because we're answering Paul's question. And Paul's question was, is it difficult reaching over to place a Buteo with the stands and scenery in place effectively? Because he's building his own little stadium with a bit of a scenery on, and he wants to know, I guess, you know, how high you can go with it. Now, one of the things I chatted about on your post, Paul, was this blue and white behind goal terrace I built deliberately low. Now, as you can see where I'm standing here, I mean, let's measure that. I've got the trusty tape measure with me. So that, even with a fence, is below 5.5 inches high at the highest point. So in metric, that's what? Just under 14 centimetres. So that gives us plenty of room. I mean, you know, that's not touching me at all. I don't have to worry about that. I can pretty much flick the players at any point. These are some England players who are not performing particularly well. Looks like they're in a spinning mood. Right off the pitch. So that one, not a problem. So what did I say that was? 14 centimetres. I reckon you could go up to about probably, if that was 20, be up there, 20 centimetres high, that far back. Bear in mind that that's just about 10 inches deep, and it's probably 8 inches away from the playing line. So, you know, you've got a bit of distance there to reach over. Now, the main Thatcher's stand, that's a little bit different. That's nearer, because as you remember, I've already got it hanging over the edge by 1 inch. I could do with it slightly further back, to be honest. Now this is, let's call that 8.5 inches high, so that's 20, just about 22 centimetres in metric. And because it's quite close, sweating here, because it's quite close, it is a bit more of a stretch to get over. So, I mean, you know, you can feel yourself bending over. Whereas over here, you don't have to bend over at all. Over here, you do feel like you're reaching over a bit more. So, you know, that's why I haven't got stands all the way round. Because if you're over there, you know, you do feel like you're sort of arching your back a bit. If you're doing a throw in here again, you know, it's a little bit more awkward. So that's 22 centimetres high. If you want to sort of gauge that at all, or anyone else wants to gauge that, you know, it's about 1 centimetre higher than your standard scoreboard. Now over in this corner, I'll try and stay on here because I think we'll be going slightly off camera, with the trees. That tallest tree is just below 10 inches. Let's call it 25 centimetres. And I've got this here as well. I know that's sort of a movable thing, so we can move the scoreboard out of the way if we wanted to, which does leave a bit of a space here. But yeah, over there, again, bit of a reach over. So that's a little bit awkward. That end, as you can see, is much lower. So those trees, if I come around there, because obviously the hillside drops down. I mean, those ones are barely 6 inches high. And obviously we've got the goalkeeping gap there anyway. So I hope that answers that question. Basically, I think if you go to 8 inches and design it, I mean, this is a bit of a bulk, isn't it? It sort of comes up and drops down, whereas this is, you know, a terrace sort of towards the pitch. So I think if you go 8 inches tops, but terrace it down, you're not going to have a problem. When you perhaps it's going to be more difficult is when you've got something bulky that's nearer like that. So maybe when you're doing your little pitch next to the railway, you could go for an open-end terrace rather than some big blocky stuff. I'm not too sure about the actual Subbuteo and Zuego stands, how big they are. I got a feeling, I mean, if anyone knows, do put it in the comments, because, you know, I've never had one. God, look at it, it's boiling in here. But I think when they've got the top roof bit on, they're slightly higher than this. And they're really sort of flat fronted, so that would be quite a difference to get down and flick around on the pitch. But there you go. Anyway, that's what we've got here. If you've got any more questions, do drop them in the comments and I will have a look and answer them where I can. But right now, I'm going to get out of this oven and stand outside because it is sweltering. Anyway, until next time, up the gas.